What's up, Phin fans? And welcome back to the Phin Cave. And man, do we have us a game this weekend. Division rival Buffalo Bills coming down to Miami at 1 o'clock Sunday. The game gets kicked off and it is on. Before we jump into that, trust me, we're going to talk about it. But make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think about the game Sunday. Bills fans as well, let me know what you think about the game Sunday. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel, and make sure you hit the like button down below. It really helps get the word out. Before we jump into the Bills game preview, I want to give props to Tua Tagovailoa winning his very first AFC Offensive Player of the Week. You see the stats there. You guys all witnessed it last weekend. It mainly was in the fourth quarter comeback, and hopefully that fourth quarter can carry on into this game. But I wanted to show love to Tua for getting his very first AFC Offensive Player of the Week, Week 2, 2022. So before we or the first thing we're going to jump into is we're going to look at the injury report. This is, you guys can see on the screen, we've got Teron Armstead. He's questionable, but he was questionable and did not practice all week last week and played well last week. So more than likely he'll be in. Xavier Howard X is showing that he is questionable as well. He said he's gonna play, so I believe he will play. Cedric Wilson and Raekwon Davis, I believe, are game time decisions. Seethan Carter and Hunter Long are out of the game. Other guys were just, I believe, just on their. You see Tanner Connor and Alec Ingold were both full practices, even though they were on the injury list. Um, Channing Tindall was limited Wednesday, but he hasn't even been on the field much, so or he hasn't even been on the field at all, I don't think. But and Melvin Ingram was just vet rest, so we fully expect all those guys at the bottom of that list to play. And for the Buffalo Bills, we got bad news for the Buffalo Bills and you Bills fans. Safety Micah Hyde has been put on injured reserve today for his neck injury. He has a herniated disc in his neck. Hopefully, he comes back for you guys good and healthy when he does get back. And of course, he'll be out of this game. And of course, Dane Jackson, after that scary injury last week, he will be out of this game. Ed Oliver and Jordan Phillips, after injuries this last week, will be out of the game. Gabe Davis, I believe, is on record as saying he will be playing. So I'm pretty sure he will be playing. Dawson Knox is questionable. Mitch Morse is questionable, even though I'm pretty sure Mitch Morse will be playing. And Jordan Poyer is questionable. Pretty sure he will be playing as well. Matt Milano, I believe his was a stinger. He was ready to go. He's listed as ready to go for the game. The rest of these guys should be playing that you do see on this list. So just a little bit of depleted secondary with Trey White already being on the injured reserve and safety Micah Hyde joining him on the injured reserve. A little bit of depleted defensive secondary. So I know that worries them guys. I kind of wish it wasn't that way because I want them to be full strength. You know what I mean? If we beat them, but either way, you got to play the guys you got, and I believe that they got some pretty good depth. So next up, let's look at my matchups to watch, and that injury list really brings it up to what we need to look for as far as the matchups. That's why I have the Miami Dolphins wide receivers versus the Buffalo Bills secondary. Now, like I said, they have pretty good depth, so I do believe they will play well. Their system plays very well against us. They will more than likely play a lot of zone and keep everything in front of them, try to prevent the deep ball. But they do have two rookie corners going against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So we'll see if those guys can really hold up against these guys. If they can hold up against these guys, they probably can hold up against anybody. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are number one and number three in yards, receiving yards, so far this season through the two games played. Now, number two on that list is Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis hasn't played that much yet, but Stephon Diggs has been lighting it up. Josh Allen has been targeting him like crazy with Gabe Davis out in the last week, and they lit it up. So it's going to be a big test for us. We'll see if X can step it back up. He was having a rough game last game. So we're going to see if he can step that up, and hopefully we, as you know, we have Byron Jones on IR as well. So hopefully those other corners can step it up, and basically we really need to stay over the top of these guys. Don't allow these guys to hit those big plays. Make them work it all the way down the field at the very least. If not, make some plays and get some picks if you can. But that's going to be very tough to do against this team. And very next up, the most important matchup, I believe, in this game, I believe the matchup that will decide the game is our offensive line versus their defensive line. Our offensive line has been sketchy through recent years, and their defensive line has been lighting it up this year so far. Now, we, of course, have ramped up our offensive line through the offseason, but we still had a few pressures here and there. Last game, they did pretty well, though. So maybe they can keep that up against these guys, but this is going to be a very, very big test for them. Von Miller, Greg Russo, and company are going to try to light Tua up. So these guys are going to have to hold up. Me particularly, I'm worried about Liam Eichenberg. That's the weakest link on our offensive line, especially in pass protection. And we're definitely going to need pass protection because it is very hard to run against this team as it is. So we need the pass protection to show up. And if we got to chip guys to help out, whatever we got to do, we got to allow Tua time to get the ball out. So that brings me to my keys to winning this game for the Miami Dolphins. Let me know down below what you guys think the keys for winning for the Miami Dolphins. If you're a Bills fan, let me know what you think the keys to winning for the Bills and the Dolphins are. Same for you Dolphins fans. Let me know down in the comment section below. I would greatly appreciate hearing what you guys got to think. For me, on offense, number one, we got to protect Tua. Like I was just saying, we have to keep him upright and keep him from getting hit too much. We need to keep him comfortable back there. He plays best when he's comfortable. Last game, you saw him getting a little more comfortable back there in the pocket, a little more time to throw, and he started making plays. If we can keep him upright. Now, another way to help keep him upright and help negate some of that pass rush, there's really two ways to negate pass rush, really good pass rush teams. One is run the ball, and number two is the quick pass game. We need to hit screens, the quick slants, the short routes, the check downs to the backside of the backfield, and get these D linemen running. Get them running after those plays a bunch out there in the heat. Get them wore down and get them where they're not so much pin their ears back. They'll stop and try to maybe they'll most of the time teams will slow down and stop and try to get their hands up instead if they know they're not getting to the quarterback because he's getting it out too quick. That's one of the things that Tom Brady has always done throughout time to help when he has a weaker offensive line. Is he gets the ball out so quick that it helps make those guys look better so that they can help him later on in the game as the defense wears down a little bit and they're looking for that quick pass a little more. Then you can get a little more time to make a little bit deeper routes. So we really need to use the quick pass game to get us going and get us going. And maybe we can hit a few deep shots late in the game or in the second half, probably. But I kind of doubt we're going to be hitting any like deep throws. It's going to be catch and run mostly for the Miami Dolphins, I believe. And number three on the keys list is convert and convert. What do I mean by that? Convert and convert. I mean, convert first downs after first down after first down and convert red zone trips to touchdowns. If we do both of those things well, keep Josh Allen sitting on the bench for the most part, win the time of possession, and score when you have the ball and score when you get it to the red zone, preferably touchdowns. If your defense can make some stops, you may can get a couple field goals here and there, but two is probably max for me. So you need to convert on those third downs, the money down, and we've been doing pretty well at converting on third down in the last game anyway. And we need to convert in the red zone into touchdowns and put the pressure on Buffalo as well. Put the pressure on their defense and get them guessing and get them straining to try to stop us. Okay, make it a shorter game for Buffalo's offense. Okay, now defense. We need to number one limit the big plays. Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen have been killing it with big plays. They kill you on the sideline. They hit little intermediate stuff, and then as soon as you push up on that just a little bit or leave Diggs in single coverage, he's over the top on somebody, and we just cannot have that in this game. If they start throwing it over the top of our heads all game, it is going to be a long day, a long day. Okay. Number two, we need to stop the run. I don't necessarily mean that we need to stop the run as far as Josh Allen, like on a pass play, if everybody's covered him taking off running. We don't want to let him get too crazy doing that, but he's going to get some yards doing that regardless, right? We cannot let Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, and James Cook start eating on the run game in theirs. Then it's going to get very hard for us to defend if they can use the play action. They already have a very good offensive line that gives Josh Allen a bunch of time back there to throw the ball. Don't make it worse with play action and everything like that, and guys busting wide open down the field at that point. So we need to stop the run early. Buffalo, if you can stop the run against Buffalo early, they usually abandon it. So stop it early, make them abandon the run. We don't need to try to defend their play action game. And number three, the biggest one of them all, is take advantage of your opportunities. And what I mean by that is if Josh Allen throws you a ball as a defender, he throws one of those rare bad balls to you, catch it. Make sure it's a pick if you have it. If a fumble hits the ground and you have the chance to recover it, make sure you fall on that ball. If you can scoop and score, obviously that's great, but make sure you secure the recovery, please. And even bigger than that, when it's those third downs, stop them, take advantage, get off the field. When they go for it on fourth down, they're very aggressive. They like to go for it on fourth and shorts. Get off the field. Give our offense a short field to work with, and maybe we can put up some points and gain some momentum in that. And guys, once again, let me know what you think down below. Let me know what your keys to winning is for the Miami Dolphins. But that brings me to my final score prediction. And with that final score prediction, once again, before I give mine, guys, comment down below. Let me know what your final score prediction is for this game. Buffalo Bills fans, I already know you think it's going to be a blowout. Let me know how bad of a blowout it's going to be in the comment section. While you're down there typing, go ahead and hit the like button and hit that little red subscribe button while you're there if you're new to the channel, that is. Now, my final score prediction, I'm already on record from saying at the beginning of the year, in my season prediction video, of saying that we're not beating Buffalo until we beat Buffalo. Okay, the injuries make me a little bit more confident in this, and I'm a Dolphins fan, man. So I got the Miami Dolphins putting up 34 points, 4 touchdowns. I believe it'll be 3 touchdowns by Tua, 1 touchdown on the ground, 2 field goals, and 31 points by the Bills. Dolphins win, baby. Now, go ahead and tell me I'm crazy down in the comment section. You do that all you want to. I am fine with that. But I believe that the Dolphins will pull this out in a tight game. If it's not a tight game, though, honestly, I do believe that if we can't keep it close, it's going to be a blowout by Buffalo. It's not going to be a blowout by Miami. Either way, I don't believe. But I believe that if Miami can't get it going, Buffalo can very well blow us out. I don't think we're at the point our offense is in stride enough to be blowing a team like Buffalo out. So therefore, I see us finishing at 34-31. Fins up, baby.